Okay, so let's talk about another Pokemon that's gone over people's heads over the years. So a lot of people might remember Slowbro and its tail and that thing that looks like it's connected to it. But over the years, people say it was a shelter that clamped onto it and evolved differently due to its the liquids and nutrients that it was feeding off Slowbro. And so what happened was it was actually a beta Pokemon from Gen 2. It's possible it could have been for Gen 1's original 300 design, but I don't know. I don't think so because it had its own index number. Well, come to find out, this Pokemon was known as Turban. And so basically, Turban was a Pokemon that it once it latched off of Slowbro, it became a bottom feeder at the bottom of the water and all that. So this Pokemon eventually would be a filter feeder, a bottom feeder. But at the same time, though, it still possessed the psychic powers that it got from Slowbro. So it was a psychic type as well. It's actually very interesting. And it was not related to Slowbro, or it was not related to Shelter at the time. So it's actually very interesting how they managed to pull that off. It's also very interesting that it's Slowking's. I do believe it was also Slowking's Crown too. Unless there was another one that I'm not mistaken, it'd be another beta Pokemon. But I think it was the same one, and that one was also a psychic type. That's where it got its psychic powers when Slowking. See, what happened was it originally fed on a King's Rock, and it turned into the shape that it did. That would explain why Slowking evolves into. That's why. With a King's Rock, of course, why it would evolve into it, or Politoed would evolve into it with a King's Rock. You know, it's actually very interesting. Like the evolutionary effects turn the Pokemon into that as well. Its genetics multiplied its own genetic material and turned it into a genetic modification of some kind. So that explains why Shelter, if Shelter was related to Turban, that would explain why it did what it did. But I don't think Shelter is related to Turban. It was also a Pokemon that was never in the final version, and I don't think it's a Pokemon they've ever reused into something else. So if they really do, it would be interesting. I know they gave Slowbro like its own Mega Evolution, and that might also be why. So that way they could recycle Turban into it, sort of. But Turban, it doesn't. You still don't know what Turban is based on what it looks like, though. It still looks the way it does, but it's a psychic Pokemon rather than I think it's a water and a psychic. I got to double check its stats, but it was very interesting, like how that was in the Space World demo at the time before they scrapped it for something else, and I don't remember what they scrapped it for, but a psychic and a water type, I believe, something like that.